Yeah, I am everywhere. I was in that room, then I was in this room, and now I'm right here. We move around here at 321 Media. Welcome into Man About Town, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you happen to be, we're with you. And we are happily and joyously brought to you by those wonderful people at Dunn's Corner Subaru here in Westerly, Rhode Island. Not your typical Subaru car dealer, not your typical car dealer, period. These are friends and neighbors and people you can sit down with, and you get fresh, honest talk. They don't talk around you. They don't treat you any other way than how you should be treated as a valued customer. So give them a try. They still have a couple of 2025s on the lot, and they want to move them out. And they've got 2026s, and before you know it, 2027 is going to be in. So Dunn's Corner Subaru,
Plenty.
perfect day to get over there today. And I cannot believe a month has gone by so fast.
I know.
Last Wednesday of the month, we are here with Lisa Konicki, president of the Ocean Community Chamber. How are you?
I'm well.
You look absolutely gorgeous in that outfit.
Oh, you're so
kind. And you
kind.
can tell everybody why you are wearing that outfit.
Well, I decided to go floral today because I'm a guest at this Stonington Garden Club's luncheon. It is a appreciation luncheon and a wrap-up from their Gardens by the Sea tour that they just had a couple weekends ago. They do it once every 3 years. So today they're going to announce the results in terms of how many people attended, how much money they made for their charitable causes, and they're giving out a couple of awards, one of which is going to yours truly for all the support that I've provided with marketing and
you
stuff.
must be running out of walls in your house for places to put certificates and ribbons. And
we don't do things for the awards. We do things to know that we are making a difference and to help. They don't even need to give us a thank you, let alone an award. But a lunch at the Stonington Harbor Yacht Club is always very nice, especially with some lovely people.
What does the garden club have for lunch? Dandelion wine and...
I'll let you know after today.
Edible leaves and things?
Maybe. But I've had dinner at the Yacht Club before, and the food is quite good there. Actually, we had a Chamber Board of Directors retreat there last year.
And you had an absolute perfect day.
Ben, you were
weather-wise.
Yes.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
It's a nice spot right on the water, great view, and lovely people. These women work really hard, and it's a huge undertaking. Most people don't understand that over 2,500 people attend the Gardens by the Sea.
Really?
That's a lot.
Over 2,500?
Over 2,500.
How do they get them?
Day one was 1,300. I was there.
How do they get them all into Stonington?
There's pretty good amount of parking down by the Stonington Lobster Trap Tree and in some of the churches and different lots. And they have a great group of volunteers that once you come over the viaduct into the borough, the gentlemen have like aprons on, and they will direct you where to park. The tour is pretty much a walking tour. So you get your pass with a map, and it tells you where each home is. And then you walk along the beautiful cobblestone sidewalks and the tree-lined neighborhood. Lots of shade along the way. Some of the homes even provided lemonade for the guests that came. And then you're getting a sneak peek into the private backyards of this year. I think it was 11 or 12 homes that opened up their yard for public viewing.
Nice.
And they're on the water. And
my guess is they don't put up a card table and a yard sale sign.
No, it's not anything quite like that.
No, I didn't think so.
But there were some really special pieces of real estate that you got a new appreciation for, seeing it from the other side, from the water side, and seeing how much beautiful color they were able to pack into a small section of their yard and to really maximize their gardening. And there's a lot of other things that go along with that event. They give gardening tips. They have vendors on the green in the borough. So there were everything from jewelers to potters to artists. Anything garden related was welcome to apply. And it was a great event, and the weather held, thankfully.
Oh, it sure did.
And it was the first time that I did the whole tour in a day. Some people, it's too much walking for one day. So they might go on Friday, do half the tour, have a little lunch in the borough because there's so
Right.
many great places to dine, and then come back with their bracelet day 2 and finish the tour. Really nice way to do it. But I powered through in one day and took lots of pictures, and boy, was it impressive. I would absolutely go again. But it's once every 3 years. So if you missed it,
Oh, really? So it's not every year.
yeah, all
It must be an
volunteers.
awful lot of work for them.
It sure
That's
is.
why.
And they couldn't do it without the hospitality of the homeowners, of course, the generous sponsors that participate, all the volunteers. Every home that you went to had at least 4 volunteers greeting you, explaining what types of flowers you were looking at, and making sure that people respected the properties and didn't pick any flowers or do anything like that. If a yard got too busy with people, they held the public, on the sidewalk before they allowed more people in. Very well orchestrated.
Very good.
Hats off to that group.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so what do we got?
Well, we want to
For
talk
End of month,
I
beginning
know,
of July.
I know. I want to look back. We just talked about that event. And of course, events in general are critical to the local economy, whether it's in Stonington Borough or here in downtown. The Pops concert was this past weekend.
Yeah.
And despite a little burst of rain, it was still a fabulous show.
It sure
in
was.
every
It always
way.
is.
It helps the restaurants. It is an influx of people to the community that might only come once a year just for that one event.
And then the next day was Sunday Fun Day.
Yes. So, each event has its own flavor, its own audience, its own goals,
Right.
celebrate different aspects of our community or of our culture, provide things in these cases that are free and open to the public. Where else can you go and sit amongst 20,000 friends and neighbors and have some great music? So I just want
Something that's not just a funny line, that's true. Because you don't see any anger in the park. Everybody's got a smile on
Of
their
course.
face. They love that event, and people really come together.
And the expenses to put that event on are
phenomenal.
staggering.
Yeah.
People do not understand everything from rebuilding the stage each year to the marketing to all kinds of expenses behind the scene.
And it just grows and grows and grows.
Yeah. And it's a trick to pull off an event in Wilcox Park. They're a wonderful host. They're a very kind community partner. Lots of rules, as there should be, to protect the grounds.
Sure.
It does make it tricky, difficult even to live up to all of the guidelines as they do and we do for the Virtue Art Show. So hats off to the Chorus of Westerly and their amazing team for what they did. It's a gift to this community. And thank you to all the sponsors, the volunteers, the people that sponsored the stage. It was great. You did mention Sunday Fun Day. So we just closed off our spring series of Sunday Fun Day. So we had 3 in a row. And I will say that the Father's Day, the last one, was the least well attended of the 3. And normally it's the best attended.
I wonder why.
Well, we say the same thing. But every year after the Spring Sunday Fun Day, we survey all the businesses that are affected by it in the downtown area. Because frankly, it's a ton of work for us to put that event on physically, to set it up and to break it down. It is absolutely not a fundraiser for us. We lose money doing it, but we do it because it meets our mission of helping the businesses downtown. But with the attendance taking a dip on Father's Day, it really caused us to take a pause and say, what's going on here? Was it the great weather? Was there something else going on? So
I wonder if it was because it was the day after
somebody
Pops,
else said that.
And people just plain forgot. I know I did. I happened to be driving down and I made the curve around, looking at the library. I took that left turn because I was heading for Connecticut. And I thought, why is the street blocked?
And you saw the sign.
And then I saw the sign. I said,
oh yeah, that's
forgot
I
all about
actually did that too.
Say,
yeah.
So, we're not really
they put
sure.
So much into Pops. That's all you hear is Pops, Pops, Pops.
As it should be.
Those last few days,
yeah.
that I think it kind of paled.
Maybe. And I have to look, did we do it the day after Pops last year? Was the 3rd Sunday Fun Day the day? I don't know. So we have a lot to look at. But as standard operating procedure, the chamber always surveys the businesses after the spring series to say,
terrific.
Do you want us to do it again? Was 3 the right number? Should it be 2? Should it be 4? Was your Sunday sales better than what they were prior to Sunday Fun Day? Because that's really the true measurement of success. Yes, we love providing a great free day for families to come down and play golf and get their faces painted and do crafts and all that, but it has to work. It's also an inconvenience, if you will, if you live downtown and you live above any of those stores and shops.
Yeah.
So for 3 Sundays in a row, you got to plan your parking situation around whether or not you can get in or get out. And that's why we don't block the Michelli's parking lot between the post office and Michelli's, so that all those folks can still access that lot and the lot behind the building. But our goal is to make sure that the things we do enhance the success of business and improve the quality of life. So it's a constant check on how's it going. And I can name events that we've done in the past that we don't do anymore because maybe they ran their course. And Sunday Fun Day was started during COVID. It was something that we did as a direct response to taking business outside because people were not going inside or businesses were closed.
I thought you had started that before COVID.
We actually applied for a grant called the Take It Outside grant from Commerce RI. It was a competitive grant and we won it. Like most things we do, we said it's a one-time thing. We'll do it to help the businesses. It caught on. The businesses says we want to keep doing it.
Like most things you do them again.
Most things, even when our intention is to do them once, sometimes it just happens that way. And I know, for Pompelmo Gelateria, it's their busiest days of the year and we're thrilled for them, but they're one business and there's about, 40, 50 down there that anytime you close a road, it affects everybody. So we will do our due diligence. We will get the survey. We will share the results with our board and then we go from there. Do we tailor it? Do we put it in the archives as done that we're not doing it anymore? Do we instead do one big Sunday Fun Day once? Don't really know, but we want to always remain relevant and open-minded and responsive.
I would vote. And again, I don't have a business downtown. I don't live downtown. So I'm coming from a different place entirely. But just based on what you said, I would vote for one big one once a year, not trying to make it every single Sunday.
Yeah, it's usually 3 Sundays. It started off as 6. Then we scaled it to 5. Then we scaled it to 4, which again, from a staffing standpoint, I'm there at each one. I'm not paid an extra penny to be there. I'm giving up my Sundays. So trust me, I'm not trying to force Sunday Fun Day on anyone because that just means I'll get some extra days off. We want to do it though, if it makes sense for the business community and the community as a whole. So stay tuned. We'll see on that. But of course, coming up next in terms of a big event for the Chamber of Commerce is River Glow. That is a huge, huge event. It's one night.
Gorgeous event.
Beautiful. It is a gigantic.
I did the research.
Yeah.
Last year, the Pops was on June 21st.
Yes.
And the final Sunday Fun Day was on Father's Day, June 15th.
So it wasn't the day of. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
Something to take into consideration.
It's good that we keep them around for something, not just
He
laughs.
just saved me some time too. So there you go. That could have been a factor for sure.
I thought I was just a pretty
People
face.
had Pop's hangover and didn't come.
Right. There you go.
So River Glow is coming up. It's August 1st. It's a Saturday. It starts at 7. And if you're at home and you're watching and you're not familiar with River Glow, it's really one of the biggest events downtown, one of the most vibrant. It spreads out throughout the Stonington westerly side. It's everything from 37 floating bonfires on the river, which is a beautiful sight, but it's also a beautiful smell.
Yes.
And it just creates this atmosphere that's fantastic. We have horse-drawn carriage rides. We have steel drum music. We have live rock and roll music. We have belly dancers. We have jugglers. We have fire jugglers. I mean, there's just a lot happening. It's really a feast for the senses, and it's something that appeals to all ages.
It does.
And like we talked about, sometimes one big thing on one night. It is one big thing on one night. It is probably one of the most challenging events for us to put on because of the setup. Again, we're using floating bonfires, so they're heavy, they're bulky, they're awkward. We've got to transport them from our office on Chamber Way down to the Pawcatuck River. That starts in the early hours of the morning, get them installed into the river so that they don't, float out to Watch Hill. And then get ready for the afternoon where we have little luminarias throughout the downtown to encourage people to walk. Don't just come and see the gorgeous river, but walk and go have a drink, go have dinner,
And
go
go
have a
into
bite,
the shops.
go into the shops, explore what's happening downtown. A lot of the stores and restaurants at this point, if you're a restaurant with a view of the water, they're already taking reservations, or they might even be booked.
Like River Bar. That has to be the best seat in town.
You cannot get a better spot than that because you get the beautiful view, but you also get the music from right across the river in Donahue Park coming to you. So you're sitting there having really a fabulous meal under the best possible circumstances.
Sure, it's wonderful.
So that's a great spot. But even Owl and Dove that does indoor dining, they've got a great view. There's lots of places. CC O'Brien's, fantastic food, and you open up the back door to leave and boom, you're right in the heart of all the action. So lots of great choices. It's a wonderful night to be downtown. It's free, it's family oriented. And we couldn't do it without the support, certainly, of both the town of Stonington, the town of Westerly, and the fire departments and the ambulance. And, if you look, there's people in the boats that night to make sure that everything's safe.
Oh, yeah.
We have volunteers out on the water, dealing with motorboats, dealing with fire, dealing with tide. A lot of interesting factors go into play for that event to pull that off safely each year.
How many years has that been?
Oh gosh,
20 some?
I don't even know. Maybe our helper Ben's going to look it up. It's more than 20. It was
for what?
I've been there 30 years, but I didn't start it the first year. So if I had to guess, it's probably more like 25, 26, but I don't know. Maybe Ben will be able to tell us.
You've been with the chamber, what, 20, 21?
30.
30
years this year.
So you are the grand old woman of the chamber.
Ooh, GOW. I don't know if I like that, but
they can do a statue.
I've definitely, please definitely don't do that. But these events are great, certainly, but there's other groups, like we talked about the Pops, doing other great events. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the upcoming Next Up Music Festival. That is really
in the park.
It's in Wilcox Park. It's put on by a nonprofit organization. They are their own 501c3. It was started by Kevin Lothar, who is a musician. Big Lux is his trade name, his stage name, if you will. But he has a board of directors of maybe 10 or so people that do fundraising throughout the year, that seek local youth talent. I had the pleasure of attending the Andrea Beach Bar and Restaurant 2 weeks ago, where they had a competition and youth came out and performed, and the whole audience got to vote on which act would be at the Next Up Festival. So let's say they had booked, 6 acts already. It was who's going to get the last slot.
Yeah.
And it was audience participation would determine it. So the stakes were high. The nerves were definitely high.
And the relatives must have been out.
Friends,
all the grandmas,
family,
aunts, uncles.
It was beautiful. And they were all talented. You wish you could have just had them all, but we enjoyed the show. It was wonderful. I was happy to be there. And you had mentioned earlier Valenti Subaru, located in Dunn's Corners. I got to give them a shout out because they've already announced that the Next Up Music Festival is one of the recipients of their Share the Love for this coming winter. So they recognize,
which usually begins around Thanksgiving and goes right through the end of the year.
Yes. So they recognize the importance of finding young talent, harnessing it, supporting them, encouraging them, and giving them an opportunity to shine with the public at an event like the Next Up Festival.
Valenti is not just a sponsor of this show and many other things in town. They are true community partners. It just seems that whenever something's going on, chamber or otherwise, they're there.
Sure.
And they're part of it.
They're definitely part of the fabric of this community, for sure. So we're going to shift gears a little bit. We have a ribbon cutting coming up. It's on Monday night at 5:00, and it's at Halleck's, which is the appliance store at 170 Main Street in Westerly.
Right next to your other location.
Right next to our little storage unit. But it was formerly known as Marone.
Right.
And now it's Halleck's. They officially changed their name. So we're excited to have everyone come and check it out. They have a great lineup of appliances for all your needs. This coming Monday at 5:00, let's give them a warm welcome. Please join us. It's open to anybody. And did want to also mention that Chillingham's is going to be reopening effective July 1st. So right around the corner, Yes, it's super exciting. They took a little break, but they're back and going to be better than ever. So if you're looking for a fabulous steak dinner and some of the best bacon you'll ever have in your life,
Ooh,
come
yeah.
to Chillingham's on High Street in downtown Westerly. You can make your reservations, I'm sure, and go in and support the Trefus family and their great meals that they were known for before they took a couple weeks off just to take a little break. Switching gears entirely, you know, the chamber is really involved in the artistic community, and the creative economy is so important to supporting all the restaurants and retail because it brings people in. Our Denizens of the Deep is right around the corner. That starts August 1st.
My God, it seems like you were just talking about it and it was cold weather.
Yeah, but it's here, and that is going to be an incredible exhibit at 3 locations. Here at the Westerly train station, which is the home of the Artist Cooperative Gallery.
Right.
Also in Stonington on the field, which is the town dock field next to where the lobster trap tree is.
Okay.
And then in Mystic at the Mystic Museum of Art. So we'll have 70 painted 5-foot long whales, sharks, mermaids, or lobsters. About 35 of them are already available where you can look and see them online at denizensofthedeep.org.
Are some of these artists the same ones who do lobster traps?
We have a pool of over 200 artists that work with us from Connecticut and Rhode Island. So we dip into that same pool for all of our projects. So some of these names you will recognize from the lobster trap tree. And there's still about half of the Denizens of the Deep that haven't been completed yet. They're going to be turned into us by the end of July. They'll be uploaded to the website, and then they'll be available for auction. So the exhibit starts August 1st, but as soon as we get their artwork in, we upload it to the website. You can actually bid right now on the 35 or so that we already have in stock.
So the exhibit begins August 1st, which happens to be the same day
as Riverglow.
As Riverglow.
So in the day,
so when you're
you get
downtown,
your art,
and
at night, you get your fire and your creativity.
Wonderful.
So it'll start, at all 3 locations on the 1st. But if you come to Riverglow, it's basically a double header. You'll be able to see both, which is pretty neat.
And once again, this is something that's free in our community. Obviously, any money you choose to spend, and we hope you do choose to spend, is up to you. But there's no admission to any of this.
The artwork is amazing. The artists are sharing in the proceeds of whatever they auction off for. So at the end, they'll all be auctioned off. I'm already bidding on one of them.
Of course you are.
And to give people a reason to not just come and see the Denizens of the Deep, for example, at the train station and then get in their car and leave, we've added a layer to it called Oars in the Stores. And the same artists are painting oars between 5 and 7 feet long that are all recycled.
Idea.
And those oars will be at the businesses, 1 oar in each of the retail shops in the downtown Westerly community and also over in Stonington Borough. And let's say you pick up your list of where the oars in the stores is. You go around, you hit each store, and you write down, okay, this oar I found at Eagle's Nest. This oar I found at Wendy's. This oar. You can take your scavenger hunt ticket and enter it. And if you complete it, you could win up to $1,000 in chamber gift cards.
Whoa.
So we are giving people incentive.
I guess so.
To come to the Denizens of the Deep, but to also pop in at some of the stores, see where the oars are located, and then fill out your form so that
the oars will be auctioned off as well?
Yes. Very good. All the oars are being painted right now. I've been driving them around all over the place. And we have about 25 so far that are in it. There'll be some in the Velvet Mill, some in the Borough, and some in downtown Westerly.
Terrific. Absolutely great.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Probably the best time to take a break.
Sure. Yeah.
We are talking with Lisa Knichty from the Ocean Community Chamber, who is never at a loss of words of stuff. You always
a lot going on in this beautiful community, right?
Always is. There's no such thing as a dead time, a downtime. Christmas is over. January's a dumpy
Let's keep
place.
it fresh and keep it moving.
Exactly. And you do, and we do, and we appreciate it. You are listening to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media. And if I could find which camera I should be looking at, I've been looking at the wrong one. We will.
That's actually a light.
I know that's a light. I was looking at what's on top
So
of
am
your
I.
computer. Okay, so
You're not the only one.
so that's it right there.
It's right here.
You just change things just to annoy us.
Just to annoy you.
Well, we will be
Again,
back
he's keeping
not
it
to
fresh.
annoy you right after you hear from the local people we hope you support. Be right back.
Your home, your family, your legacy. They deserve the highest level of protection. At Lathrop Insurance, we design tailored programs for coastal homes, secondary properties, and high-value assets, giving you peace of mind no matter where life takes you. We're honored to protect families in Rhode Island with personalized care and expert guidance. Lathrop Insurance, protecting the life you've worked so hard to build.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners. And this weekend, the new iPhone is here and we have them all in stock. Come get the brand new orange iPhone 17 Pro or the brand new razor thin iPhone Air. The best part is trading your old iPhone and get up to $1,100 off, meaning you get the brand new iPhone for free. But this weekend, you can get the brand new iPad and Series 11 Apple Watch for free. It's all happening down here at the Wireless Zone at 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners. Don't delay, stop in today.
At the Ocean Community YMCA, community means showing up across 4 branches and 2 summer camps, all rooted in one shared mission. Every day we bring people together to grow stronger in spirit, mind, and body. From fitness floors to youth programs, from lifelong friendships to unforgettable summer memories. No matter your age or stage of life, there's a place for you here to belong, to thrive, and to be supported. This is the place where everyone belongs. This is the Ocean Community YMCA.
I'm Gretchen Miller. I'm the owner of Martin House Books in Westerly, Rhode Island. We have 2 floors. The top floor is all adults. The bottom floor is children's. We have the cafe here too. That's a separate business, Cafe 1888. Come down to Martin House Books, enjoy a great coffee, and pick out another great read.
The largest reason we opened up Seaside Pharmacy was to help our community better than the big box stores. We get to know you better, fast and friendly service. So we'd love to have you come in and check out Seaside Pharmacy and see what we have to offer.
I'm Dale Soul, the owner of Shoreline Painting and Cabinet Refinishing. My vision for the company has always been to elevate paint contracting. When you call, you get a live person. Typically, we have estimates out the same day. We have really good communication with our customers daily. We make sure you're completely happy before we leave the project. We service residential and commercial customers. The commercial work we do is typically more community-oriented. We just completed a expansion of our shop. We added 3 more spray booths to allow us to increase capacity. You can find us at 77 Stillman Ave in Pawcatuck. You can find us on our website at shorelinepaintingri.com, or you can call the office 401-834-1684 to book an estimate.
Hi, I'm Chris Kozwoski, owner of Broadview Florist and Garden Center in Dunn's Corners. For over 40 years, our family-owned business has been your go-to destination for beautiful, custom-made floral arrangements. Whether it's a special event or just to brighten up your day, we create highest quality designs tailored just for you. Trust Broadview Florists to make every moment unforgettable. Visit us today or give us a call at 401-322-0390.
Splits where the summer sticks on our fingers, on our lips.
2 scoops high and a waffle twist.
We're living it up at Lickety Splits. Lickety Splits, take your flavor pick. Rainbow swirl or classic mix.
Big wide smiles and a sugar blitz.
Yeah, everyday sweet at Lickety Splits. Hey!
She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Now that I know a camera to look at, I'm looking at you. Sorry if my eyes have been wandering around for half an hour, but what else is new? Welcome back.
To be fair, yeah, you've always done that.
Yeah,
even when you know where the camera is.
Yeah, I know, but I try to get so much better. Welcome back to Man About Town, and that does not look anything like a camera, but tech is very unusual these days. Nothing looks like it's supposed to be.
Oh, the chamber has one of these now.
Yes. Yep. Thank you for the info on that. Maria was just using it yesterday when we had a fantastic lunch at the Ocean House.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Was this a chamber board meeting or?
It was not. It was a meeting with Ocean House representatives about their culinary offerings for the season, and they have a new.
So you sampled stuff.
We sampled some fantastic sushi, and I had a delicious. I'm gonna pronounce it hijiki salad.
Yeah,
which was a lot of seaweed and sweet though, delicious. Yeah, I tried some. We were adventuresome yesterday.
Good.
It was really good. Some shrimp and asparagus tempura with
now that sounds good to me.
yummy ginger and delicious sauce on it. And then I had a seafood poke bowl, which was yummy, not over rice, just raw seafood, a variety of types. Yeah, it was excellent.
So they're trying things to see if they're going to put them on the menu permanently or for
last
a time.
year they had a restaurant, I would call it a seasonal restaurant that was a Mexican theme. And this year, the seasonal restaurant is more Japanese.
It sounds like it with the raw fish.
Delicious.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Very good.
We locals forget we're welcome there too. We can go there and have a fantastic meal. So we'll probably be making a post showing the photos of what we ate in the next, 3 or 4 days, I'm sure. And you'll be able to see.
You have nothing else to do in the office.
It was excellent. Excellent.
So what comes after River Glow?
Well, depending on who you are, what could come is a great opportunity to open a new business. So just want to remind folks that there are always opportunities to establish roots here in the region that we serve. Two glaring opportunities right now. One is we had a bridal store in our beautiful downtown that recently closed.
Big and empty.
It's a big empty store. And more importantly, there's a need. There's a need for bridal gown shopping and high-end, dress shopping.
I know you said last month you talked to someone, I believe, in Cranston.
Yes.
Have you talked to anybody else? Because you could put any business in there, but a bridal shop is what's needed. Because there really isn't anything
80%
close.
Bridal and maybe 20% the high-end, either prom, mothers of the bride, special occasion dresses. Because we do have a lot of fundraisers and a lot of black ties and a lot of interesting, important events in this community. And when you think about how far a person might have to drive to find a bridal gown, if you live here right now, it's a bit of a haul. We're in a bit of a bridal desert now because of their closing. And, it started, I'm going to say 40 years ago, there was a store called Belladonna in downtown.
I remember that.
Belladonna. And over the years, there's always been a bridal shop in downtown. So it's kind of sad. So if anyone's interested in that, let us know. We can put you in touch with the landlords of the space where the former shop was, or some of the other spaces that are available. We also got notification this week that the Amy, who's the captain of the Argia, is looking to retire. She's run it many, many years and done a heck of a job growing that business. But it's time for them for their next chapter, if you will. So if sailing the seas of the Mystic River and running that business sounds appealing to you, let us know and we can put you in touch with Amy and she can provide you with more information. So those are
very good.
Two unique opportunities to own a business. Now, always we are trying to help businesses find the right employee to fill a job opening that they have. I did want to mention just a couple this week.
You had one open, I don't know if you filled it yet, at the chamber itself.
So Grace has interviewed 3 people. And she has some thoughts on that. I will ultimately interview her number 1 candidate and then give it the sort of rubber stamp of approval, hopefully.
And that would be for what job?
It's a clerical position. It's new. It's a little bit of what Grace does, a little bit of what Maria does, culling back from them to create this position to allow them more time to do some of our marketing and social media stuff that they do.
Very good.
So
And they are both so good at
they're
social
good and they're
media.
multi-talented. They have a strong breadth of skills. And so I want to always support them and nurture them and hopefully keep them as long as we can at the chamber. You know, unlike some organizations with a lot of turnover, we've been very lucky. Part of our success is absolutely due to the fact that Maria's been there 13 years and Grace, it's like 5.
I remember it wasn't that long ago we celebrated Maria's 10th year.
Yeah.
And it's 13.
Yeah, it happens.
Wow.
Probably about 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But it's been
another reason for keeping you here.
It's been a great
not just
ride.
A pretty face.
It's been a great ride. So job openings over at Great Woods, which is the amazing indoor water park that established about a year ago. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. Henry Testman sent me job openings of what he calls key leadership roles. So if you are interested in being the director of sales or the entertainment manager.
Ooh.
I know, fun.
Maybe I'll go do that.
Or the restaurant manager.
You're a little busy.
They have 3 openings right now for great jobs. And it's a wonderful place to work, good benefits. They have over 200 employees there, and he's a dynamo. So
and Great Woods is part of the casino, correct?
They're affiliated with the casino for sure. Yep. And I have those job descriptions. I could email them if somebody wants, to contact me at 401-596-7761, or, we can make sure that we connect somehow offline to give them the details. Another position that is open is, I guess it was just those 3. We filled the other one. Yeah, we did. We filled the other one. The Land Trust, the Westerly Land Trust has one, and it is part of AmeriCorps, and it is a service member position. So with AmeriCorps, working with the Land Trust, working the land, farming related. If you're into farming, sustainability, all that kind of stuff. They have a very lengthy description on their website. I just got that email this week. And during the time that you take the position, your student loans are paid for you. There's some forgiveness of student loans.
Wow.
There's some interesting side benefits to that position. So
for the right person, that sounds perfect.
Yeah. So Westerly Land Trust, but there's always a wide range of interesting jobs available. Members can post their jobs on our jobs board at no cost. As long as they're a member, they can just put it up there. And if you're at home and you're looking for another opportunity, you can just send us your resume. And
just another benefit of membership, which I am constantly on. I cannot understand how any business in this community, when they see what's being done by the chamber, that they're getting benefit from, collateral benefit, why you would not want to be a member for such a ridiculously low price and be part of the community.
Well, we appreciate that. We're here to serve, and we serve all businesses, members or not, big or small. If you walk in our office, racks and racks of info on our member businesses, but there's also non-member information in there. You call and you have a question. We don't have a member that provides that service. We're going to dig and we're going to make sure we get the information to provide you with what you're looking for. So if it's a non-member, we still want to, like right now, we don't have a locksmith that's a member. Here's a perfect example. We don't. I couldn't give a referral to a chamber member locksmith about 2 weeks ago. So obviously we just give referrals in general because you want to help the person that's in need. I was able to recommend somebody that I had used personally at one point in time. And they actually they don't work on weekends anymore. So good for them, but not good for the person.
Banker's hours.
Not good for the person that was locked out. So,
no.
But we try our best. We want people when they call us or when they leave our office to go, wow, they were so helpful. We got exactly what we needed from them because we're an extension of the town. We want to be that goodwill ambassador and to help people. All these holidays, like Juneteenth, obviously is now a holiday. Town halls closed. A lot of businesses. We're not closed. Yeah. My staff is off, but I was there on Juneteenth and we were busy. We sent a lot of people to a lot of places that day. Could we close? Of course, it is a holiday, but we make sure that we are there even on those holidays, Memorial Day, Labor Day, because the guests are coming to our
Exactly.
community.
Yeah.
There's an expectation.
That's when you've got traffic.
We're running
sure.
the Welcome Center as a partner with the town of Westerly. We need to be there. We
Mhm.
need to help folks. So we take our role seriously. And to that point, if you are a member and you haven't recently given us your brochures, your menus, your business cards, what have you, come on down. Please drop them off to us so that we can put them on the rack, so that it's just so much easier when somebody is asking about,
Sure.
where can I get the XYZ?
This time of year, I would imagine most tourists who are coming in are saying, where do I go for a great lobster
I knew you were going to
roll?
say lobster roll.
Or where do I go for dinner?
I will
or,
say that a great lobster roll is one of the top 5 questions that we get.
Really?
People want to know. And that's hard because we might have 30 members just in Westerly that serve lobster rolls. And we're never going to say, oh, the best lobster roll is Rona's.
Of course not.
What we're going to say is there's so many. You're very fortunate. You picked the right place. We're a seafood community. You can get it fresh. Do you want to dine indoors, or do you want to dine outdoors, or do you want takeout? Right there, that's going to cull down the
Sure.
30 by maybe a half.
Yep.
And then from there, do you want to go down by the beach and sit at a picnic table? Do you want to be in town because you're already in town? Like, we let the customer dictate, so that we might get it down to 3 options for them, and then give them the brochures or circle in our membership list where they are.
Right.
And then they can look at price. They can look at whatever else is important to them. But that's how we do it, because there are a lot that serve
Yeah.
lobster rolls.
So what are the
and they're all
other
good.
What are the other 4 questions? You said that's one of the top 5. Where's the bathroom?
No.
Well, you've got signs outside for that.
Where do I park?
When
for
is the
free?
statue getting made?
Where do I park for free?
Yeah.
I want to go to the beach and I want to park for free.
Good luck.
People are really
Park in Omaha.
People are upset. I had someone come in yelling the other day because it was $60 on a weekday to park in Watch Hill, as if we have control over that. But he was
Right.
yelling at me, basically, saying our town was unwelcoming. It was extortion. It was this, it was that. What he doesn't look at is that property owner that's charging the $60 really has about 2 to 3 months max to make the money to just pay the taxes that they have to pay
Oh.
on that expensive real estate down by the beach.
Yeah.
I know they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. The 2-hour parking on the street isn't enough for them. They want the 4-hour, the 5-hour, so they can go to the beach. But the reality is, somebody spent a lot of money to buy that parcel of land. It's their
Yeah.
right to run it as a parking lot, and they have to charge what they have to charge to just recoup their expenses to maintain it, pay the insurance, and pay the taxes.
And sadly, or not sadly, practically, they should build that into the budget for their vacation, their one day, their trip to Watch Hill.
Nobody's owed free parking. Our beaches, of course, are free. And if you have a friend drop you off,
Yeah.
which I get dropped off all the time.
Yeah.
I have lots of beaches that I like to patronize in this community. And I said, drop me off, and I get my chair, my blanket, my whatever, and pick me up at 3:00.
Mhm.
The late great Angie Smith had Artie Smith well trained. He would drop us at a certain point and come back at a certain point, and we didn't have to fight for parking or deal with parking. So make
Yeah.
a friend and or take turns or do what you have to, or just plan accordingly. I think a day at the beach in Westerly or Watch Hill or Musquamacut is still the best value that anyone can spend. Think about what it costs, for example, to go to the movies for 2 hours.
Yeah.
To go to the beach and be completely unplugged, completely relaxed with Mother Nature, with the sounds, with literally a sense of peace and the sound of children in the background laughing and jumping in the waves and all that. To me, it's priceless. So if the movies are going to cost you $35, $40 and the beach for the entire day is going to cost you $60, you know where I'm spending my money.
Yeah.
And I love a good movie, and that's great for air conditioned and all that. I do, but I will never be down on paying to go to a beach, because
Exactly.
I'll be the one that's there at 9 a.m. and leave at 6 p.m. And when you figure that out over the course of the day, I got my value.
Okay, so they ask about lobster rolls. They ask about parking.
Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's right, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, they want to
Where's
know
her house?
They
and-
want to know everything. They want to know, is she nice? Have we met her? Where does she live? When is she coming?
Oh, yeah, she comes by and gets a brochure every day.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of Taylor Swift questions.
Yeah.
So we get that. All right, you ready for the next one?
Probably not, but
Dogs on the beach. I have a dog. What restaurant can I bring my dog? What brewery can I bring my dog? What beach can I bring my dog? What time can I bring my dog to the X, Y, or Z? Is my dog welcome at Sunday Fun Day? Is my dogs, and dogs.
Yep.
They are now every bit as part of somebody's family as, you know, a child.
exactly.
Can my dog
And
stay at
better
a hotel?
behaved in many cases.
Oh, geez. And there are certain hotels that accept dogs, Ocean House
Yeah.
being one of them. So it's not an outrageous line of questioning. Okay. Another question that people ask us is, where would you go if you were me for the day? Like, what is the thing I need to see while I'm here? They don't just want to read a brochure or go online. They
Mhm.
really, they've got a human being. It's not Google.
But then, of course, you have to turn that around and ask them questions.
What do you like?
What do you like?
Right.
What are you interested
Right.
in?
So I'm quick to say, for me, I love the arts. I love everything about the arts. So if I only had a day, I would incorporate the arts. I would absolutely, because I love to walk. I walk most days 6 miles. If you're able to walk, I think a walk out to the tip of Napa Tree Point, where Fort Mansfield is,
Yep.
is glorious. It's so beautiful. And if you can do it close to sunset, so you're walking back at sunset where you feel safe, but you're getting those amazing sherbet
Yeah, the
colors in the
colors.
sky.
Right.
I don't think there's a more, it's, I don't know. It gives you chills when you're out there and you see these pinks and purples and oranges in the sky. There's not a lot of people out there and you're walking back. It is as close to heaven as you can be, Napa Tree Point. I love it. So I'll talk about things like that. I always mention that if you're a martini person, you know,
Perks and Corks.
Perks and Corks is the best martini on the planet. And I will take whatever hits I need to from any business for saying it. It's the best. They are creative. They're fantastic. They're consistent.
And they've got one of the biggest menus for martinis I've ever seen.
It is exceptional. So if I can incorporate kind of the best of both worlds, they either go to Musquamacut or they go to Watch Hill, and then I can also connect them to the downtown. It's giving them a real flavor of who we are as a community, because we are not just a beach community.
No.
And we're not just downtown. And I think people need to see all of those aspects of Westerly's personality or Stonington's personality.
Exactly.
And if they're just here for the day, we're gonna give them all the nuts and bolts of what they can do, whether it's taking a tour of Hauser chocolates and having a little sample of a little truffle when they're done.
And a lot of people don't even know there's a Hauser chocolates because it's pretty well buried.
Exactly.
Unless you know.
So we love exposing them to things like that. Or, you know, you're into lighthouses. You've been to all these lighthouses across the country. Yes, you can tour the lighthouse here in Westerly. Here's your situation. Parking is very challenging. Here's where you can park. The museum itself is only open 2 hours. This is the day, you know, so giving people all the sort of insider information they need to have a great experience, have unique memories.
What can you give them in 5 minutes? Because that's what we've got left.
Wow.
We have to turn things over and do a StreamYard.
I love it. Well, I always like to know not just why they're here, how they found us. So I'll ask them, what made you pick Westerly when they're in our office? Was it an ad? Was it a friend? Was it a family member? Is it tradition? You know, how'd you come upon us? That's good information, and it helps us with our decisions sometimes on how we get the word out and where we distribute our magazines or what ads we place, things along that line. But then it's also, where are you going? Are they going to Newport next? Are they going to Mystic next? Where are they going next? Because number one, we probably have members along the way. We certainly have members in Mystic and Stonington, and we can help them have a fabulous
I bet
trip
they
there.
also ask on a rainy day, like we had it yesterday.
What is there to do?
What can we do?
We have
I
a
don't,
list.
I don't
Rainy
want
day
to go to the
activities.
casino or the movies. Where can I go?
We literally have a rainy day activities list.
Perfect.
And the movies
and
are
you're
great.
smart.
Bowling and Get Fired Up Pottery Studio and the Nature Center. And there's so many places when you really think about it and you look at the list.
Or just go shopping.
That's always a good thing in my book. But rainy days can sometimes be the best days. Go take a tour of Gray Sail Brewing and the tap room. And there's a lot of options. We have it all here. We don't have the traffic of a big city. We have all the charm of a little Norman Rockwell community. But we have the gorgeous beaches, a vibrant downtown that is intact with its incredible architecture. If you're into history, you can take a walking tour of downtown and see more than 55 structures on the National Registry of Historic Places. That in and of itself, for some people, is a wonderful discovery. So when you're walking around downtown, look up, look at the details at the upper levels of some of these buildings, and you'll find out that there's an incredible history. 69 High Street, where Zoe and Company, it is the only ironclad facade building in all of Westerly. Iron, the face of that building.
Never realized that.
Next time you see it, you'll take
69 High Street.
Take note of it.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting. Is it 69 or is it the one to the right of 69? Now you got me questioning myself.
Well, I'll look for the ironclad. I mean, that's
Zoe is 69.
Zoe and Co is 69.
The ironclad, I think, is the Capalbo's right next to it on the right.
Okay.
But you'll see the little placards downtown if you really look. If you really look for them. But
I know where Capalbo's.
Yes. I'm 99% sure now that I've said it, that it's the Capalbo building is the ironclad.
For sure. Yes, it is.
Okay. Oh, you're Googling. I love it. But there's just some interesting things, some really interesting things to discover. So if you don't have our magazine for this year, call us. It's free. We'll mail it to you. 401-596-7761. And it's a travel guide, and it will help you make great decisions about how to spend your time and how to spend your money.
We will see you again on the 29th of July, I do believe.
Penny, yes, and this is what it looks like. We're happy to
Yep.
mail it to you. So just call us or go online at oceanchamber.org, and you can see the entire book.
You can also get a membership
online. You can flip through this whole magazine and save us the postage.
Right.
Online, just hit click, 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 and it's going to bring you through every page. Or the other publication that Ben just handed out or held up was our membership directory, and that'll tell you all the businesses that are part of the chamber.
We will see you on the 29th
Thanks, Rona.
of July. It'll go fast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's a big month, but it'll go fast.
Yeah.
And I know
Lisa,
it's a
Yes.
How do I get things on the docket for the board meeting this month? Because I think that we
items to discuss, topics.
Yeah.
Send me an email because that agenda.
I think I'll just do it publicly now. This is what I'm going to be proposing.
Oh my.
This is why I turned the monitor around early for you guys. Here we go. This is the Lisa Kanicki statue.
OMG, get that thing out of here.
And
that is hysterical.
Oh no, unfortunately
that is a nightmare. Get that out of here.
Unfortunately, I have bad news. The Scots have already gotten to it.
Oh, good. They put that. That's an improvement.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That is funny.
Ben, you're amazing.
On that note, may we go to break so we can. When we come back, we are going to finally have what we have waited for and had to be postponed for a few weeks. You're going to hear about, happily or sadly, one of the biggest scams and newest scams that's out there. You will meet my oldest and dearest friend in the world from South Jersey. She will be with us. And of course, with Detective Howie Mills. So we will be right back. We'll see you then.
Wood River Health provides medical, dental, and behavioral health care to over 10,000 people a year, even when they can't afford to pay for the care they need. The cost of providing healthcare services has increased, and the grant funding we receive doesn't fully cover the cost of patient care. We, like other community health centers across the country, count on community support to keep our doors open. With your help, we can keep serving as a safety net for your neighbors. Will you help us invest in our mission?
Ever thought about leveling up your fitness game in a fun and meaningful way? Kiefer's Martial Arts on Granite Street has everything you're looking for. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and of course, adult karate. It's not just about getting fit, it's about building your self-confidence, discipline, and that unstoppable feeling you get from all your hard work. Stop into Kiefer's Martial Arts today to sign up.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
Let's go down to Toscanos. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's men's shop since 1911.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
.321 is about so much more than sports. We're about community, family, small businesses, nonprofits, and sharing stories that deserve to be heard. 321, what's your story?
She's there, she's everywhere, she's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Well, they say the good things in life are worth waiting for. And I've been waiting for this particular show for a long, long time. As you know, if you watch Man About Town, a production of 321 Media, we always talk about scams, especially when we have Detective Mills with us, Howie Mills from the Westerly Police Department. And sadly, we always have plenty to talk about when it comes to scams. I was in, and I'm not going to take the time, but I was in the Pawcatuck post office 2 days ago, and there was an older woman in front of me, and she held up a wrapped package to the clerk and said, "I know this was a scam and they got me. How much does it cost? I have to send it back to China, even though I bought it from North Carolina. I thought I was safe, but if you have to send it back." And the guy said, "Oh, we've had a lot of those in here." And she turned around and held up the package and she said, "Everybody that's in here, watch what you're doing." And yeah, but a lot of times you don't know what you're doing because scams are terrible. They're ubiquitous. They're everywhere. And they're smarter than we are. And one of the smartest people I know, you're going to be putting up on the screen for me to see, I hope. And there she is. Hi, Marty.
Hi.
Hi, Marty. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Same here, Howie.
Marty is my oldest, and I don't mean that chronologically, although we're probably getting there.
We are.
My oldest and bestest friend, we met when we were about 15 years old. She is in South Jersey. She's down there in Bruce Springsteen land. And she is very smart. She's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to money and research. She's big on research, a big researcher of everything, believes nothing in nobody and checks it all out. And that's one of the many reasons I love her. And yet, she almost got caught. So I don't know, you want to tell Howie and everybody else your story? Because I don't remember all the details.
And I don't know anything about the story, but I'm sure when you start telling me, there's a chance that I might have dealt with something similar to it, or I've seen the scam before. So.
Okay, well, I'll be happy to tell you what happened. So it was April. I went to my checking account to pay some bills, and it was a sort of big number, so I wanted to look at the itemized bills, and I saw a charge on there that I didn't recognize right away. It was for an antivirus charge for WebRoot. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but it's like Norton or McAfee or something like that. And I do have WebRoot, and I have it through Best Buy, and I've had it for years, but it did not say Best Buy on the charge. And I thought, well, that's odd, because normally when I renew my subscription, I see Best Buy. So I thought, well, I better check with Best Buy and see if it was theirs or if this was another charge. And sure enough, it was not Best Buy. They said, no, you're all paid up. You're fine. This charge is not ours. I'll give you the number for Best Buy. You can just call for Best Buy for WebRoot, and you can call them and cancel it because it's a secondary WebRoot that you're not even going to be using. So then I remembered, I think maybe I did actually accidentally purchase it maybe a year ago. But so I got the number, I called the number. It was not a number to anywhere. So then I went to Google, and I'm very careful not to use a sponsored site. I went to WebRoot, what I thought was the official site. And here's where it all happened. From that point on, not only my day was ruined, but almost everything was ruined because I called directly into scammers, not knowing that, of course. They were very nice when they answered the phone. They said, okay, that sounds like maybe you have a secondary subscription. We'll have to check. We'll need to get onto your PC and make sure. So that was where the whole issue started, because if it hadn't been for the fact that it was an antivirus company and I thought I was talking to official WebRoot, I would never have let them take control of my PC. But I naturally thought, well, they need to check so they can get it off of my PC. Well, that led to them putting up screens. They said, oh, yes, it's $200. We'll refund it to you. So this is an abbreviated version of what happened.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes, of course.
Once they had access, I'm assuming, just so people can understand it, they send you a link, right? And
yes.
they have you go into this link, and then you have to give them authorization to now screen share with you.
Correct.
So now they can control your mouse.
Correct.
And move it around on your desktop or your computer, home computer. Did they have you at any point go to your bank account and pull up your account information?
Absolutely. That's what happened. When they put up a screen for the refund amount, and we were trying to get the refund through for $200, I'll jump ahead. I found out later through Best Buy that those screens were total malware.
Yep.
They were controlling the screens completely.
Yep.
I thought we were filling out the information for a refund for $200.
And then, I don't want to jump out too far ahead.
Go ahead.
At some point, did they say, or whoever you were talking to, say something to the effect of, now you need to put the amount in yourself of how much the refund is going to be. Make sure
Yes.
you put the exact amount. Whatever you do, it has to be the right amount. And then when you hit $200, accidentally, somehow
Yes.
an extra zero gets added.
Yes.
How
Yes.
did I know? Right? You didn't
Yes.
even tell me this.
100%.
Yep. And then,
So,
this just so everybody knows, and just so you know, Marty,
yes.
this is a common thing. I've dealt with it here. That's how I know about it. We've had people that are victimized here. I've actually watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it because, of the amount of scams that I do, and I research a lot about it. This is a common scam. And what they do is because they have control over your computer, when they tell you, like, just put 200, when you hit zero, they're on the other end on their cube and they hit zero at the same time. You never hit zero twice. You hit it just once. But they
Correct.
hit it also.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden you don't really see it, and then you hit next or like confirm, and then they act like they can't go back and change it, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then good, you can continue.
Correct. 100% exactly what was happening. So here's where, of course, because I'm an honest person, I now see that they have refunded me, instead of $200, $20,000. And I panic because that's not my money. I have to return that money. How am I going to get that money back to them? And they were so happy to help me get the money back to them. So we went through a whole series of trying to get the money back to them. And during that process, I will jump ahead and leave out a lot of all the details that happened. But what happened was the cavalry came in. My Chase fraud department called me. Unfortunately, I have 2 lines. And if I know that I'm going to be making a long call, I usually use my landline and I keep my cell phone free. And Chase had my cell phone number. And so now I've got the scammers on my landline trying to control the situation. And they're trying to tell me, in case Chase calls you, this is what you're supposed to tell them. And now I have Chase calling me, the fraud unit. And now I don't know who to believe. Right? So I started asking Chase questions to prove to me that this was a scam. And the way they did that was really interesting. He said, okay. He said, have you actually gone to your checking account, your online banking, and have you checked your savings account? I said, no. He said, do that right now. And sure enough, what they had done was they had taken all the money out of my savings account and had transferred my money
into your
checking account. So that it looked like they had refunded me the money.
Yeah, because and it's exactly how it's played. Before they even, they already know how much is, because like without you knowing it, as they're bringing up these screens, they know exactly how much is in your savings account.
Yes.
So that's when they move it without your knowledge, and that's why when you panic and you just said, "Oh my God, I just took $20,000 of your money," they probably said to you, "Yes, you did. Go look at your checking account right now."
Correct.
And they bring up your checking account, and yes, there's now an extra $20,000 in your checking account.
Correct.
You just don't realize that it's really your $20,000 that they just moved without your knowledge from your savings into your checking.
How do they learn to do these things? They could be, curing cancer if they took that brain and put it elsewhere.
So what happens, a lot of the stuff comes out of India, like Calcutta, things like that. What they do is, like, once they know a scam works,
right,
they all teach each other how to do the scam. Or, you work for the scammers and like, you'll like leave that scamming facility and then you move to another scamming facility. These scamming facilities get shut down and they get opened up all over the place in like places like, India, things like that. And they just, it's one of those things that it'll never stop. And they're in this huge room and like they'll pass her around to other people. They'll say, "Oh, you need to speak to this person now, and you need to speak to this person now." So she probably spoke to a couple of different people throughout this process,
Yes.
I'm guessing.
Yes. I mean, you're 100% on top of the scam. That's exactly what happened. And I was so panicked about having somebody else's money, and I had to return it. And that's how they really play on honest people's honesty, right?
Yes.
And I had never heard of this scam before. I wasn't alerted to it. as Rona said, I usually am pretty good about not clicking on links and checking things out. But boy, this one got me. And I can't say enough about my Chase fraud unit, who locked down my account like immediately. And so they weren't able to get the money. So I'm very, very fortunate.
How did the conversation continue with them as you're talking to Chase?
Oh my goodness. They were telling me, oh, well, they started going crazy. They were telling me, well, tell Chase that it was an authorized transaction by you and you needed the money because you have somebody very ill in your family and you had to get them this money. I mean, it was by that point, it was ridiculous. And they still continued to call me like the next day.
Right, because they were this close.
That
This
close.
to
Snatched from the jaws of
$20,000 from you.
victory. Yes.
Yes.
They
And
were that close.
Yep, $20,000 was snatched from under their noses. They were that close to getting it.
It was unbelievable. It was like within seconds because actually that refund screen, for whatever reason, maybe they didn't plug in the zero quickly enough, as you said. We had to do it 3 times. And on the 3rd try, when I was about to hit the little button that said send money, that's when the Chase fraud unit called me.
Wow.
3rd attempt. That's how close I came to losing everything.
And if she had lost everything, would there be any recourse at that point?
So just so you know, Marty, so your scam was far from over, right? So what happens is, and this is how the scam continues, I'll explain it to you now. So once you hit that button, they don't get the money right away because it's a fake screen. So now what they need you to do is somehow take that $20,000 out of your checking account, because it's now in your checking account, and then get it to them. So this is how the scam, the ones that I've dealt with, this is how it went. So very similar to your story, but this was actually through some clothing. The guy that talked to this victim here in our town, they said they were from a global financial institution, and that said, you really need to give me this, you get this money back to me. If I have a family, I have kids, I'm going to lose my job. You got to get me that $20,000 back, really put on the victim's emotions here in this town.
Yes.
So what your next step was, they would have had you to do was go to your local Chase bank, because you have
They wanted me to do a wire transfer.
Yep. So that's what they're going to have you do. So so what they're going to do, there's 1 or 2 options they can do, right? One, they're going to have you go to your bank, do a wire.
Right.
Secondly, the one that happened here is they sent them to their bank. Now the scammers already know where your banks are and how close they are to your house. They know where you live. So when they're talking to you, they're going to say to you, okay, Chase Bank, which Chase Bank are you going to go to? And they're going to have the addresses, and they're going to say, which one do you normally use? And they would have kept you on the phone. They would have had you driven to the bank. They would have never hung up the phone with you. And then they would have said, okay, put the phone in your purse so we can listen to the conversation. Whatever you do, do not tell them why you're sending this money.
Yes.
I don't want to get fired. You need to tell them it's for whatever reason it is. It's a family member that's sick or whatever the scam they're going to use. And then once you send the wire, the wire is the wire. The wire, as soon as the wire goes into another account, the wire is sent. It's an automatic transfer of money. It's not like you have a check where you have to wait five business days or anything like that. It's like an automatic transfer. The money will go into a fraud account. That fraud account, they'll take the money out quickly, and then they'll shut the account down. So that's kind of how it works. So the one that happened here is they sent the victim to the bank. They had the victim take out cash. And then they had him go to a second bank in town because there's a couple branches. They had him take out another large amount of money. They bring it back to the house, and they said, okay, we're going to have somebody come to your residence and pick up the money. So
they have agents here as well.
Well, no, so it's couriers. They use couriers.
Oh my gosh.
So the courier can be a completely innocent party who works for the courier company.
Works for a courier company, works for a limousine company, works for like whatever couriers that are in town. So they get them back to the person comes back with the money, and they said, all right, don't tell anybody. We're going to call you back. We need to get a hold of a courier to come get the money. And so this person goes back to the house with the money. And in the meantime, the bank had called our police department and said, we think that this person, because the victim's story didn't make much sense. So they said, hey, we talked to our customer and we explained to her that we think she's being scammed. She did not want to hear it. She showed all the signs saying that it was a money to buy a grandchild a car, and then the other I think she might have told a different story at a different bank. So we reached out to the victim, and we tried to explain to her, we think you're getting scammed, and she said, I feel like you're harassing me. Please stop.
Wow.
Like, I'm not being scammed. Please, like. And then we come back to work the next day, and find out that this victim had later called the police department and said that they were scammed.
Oh my God.
Because the courier actually showed up at the house later that night around 9:00 at nighttime, and they met them at the end of the driveway. They use a code word. This one was like either green or blue or something like that, and handed over an envelope full of cash. Courier walks away. The money ends up wherever it went. We don't know who the courier
And
was.
there's no recourse at that point.
Money's gone.
Wow.
There was nothing more I can do besides educate. The bank tried to explain to the victim that we believe they're getting scammed. Our police department tried to explain to the victim that we believe you're getting scammed. At the end of the day, it's the victim's money. We can't go to her house and take the money and say, this is your money, but we're taking it from you because we believe you're getting scammed. So they've kind of went away from couriers now, and they're trying to use a lot of the wire transfers. It's crazy how the money, like, you think to yourself, well, it's pretty easy. Once you wire this money, I can just track down the owner of the account that this money went into. And it's not that easy just to reach out to a bank and say, okay, who owns bank account number 1234 where $20,000 went into it yesterday from our victim. It's not always that easy. There's a lot of paperwork involved, and then a lot of times I had a couple of cases that were similar where money was wired into a fraudulent account. I end up sending out paperwork to, it takes a couple of weeks to get the subpoena paperwork back from those banks, and the bank gave me a couple of names because it was like one victim, 2 different accounts money went into. This bank, I reach out to it, and they send me all the paperwork back of these people's names. And what a lot of times they use is they're called branchless banks. Do you know what a branchless bank is? It's a bank that doesn't ever have a walk-in area. It's just an online bank. You can just Google online banks, and there's numerous online banks that will never have a branch, but it's a real bank.
And they are legitimate.
They're a legitimate bank. But
how do people tell, though? I mean, I'm at the point now where I'm not as smart as she is. Believe me, I'm not.
Well,
when it comes to this. Right. But when I don't want to believe anybody, anything, any name, any piece of paper, because it's very, very difficult to tell.
Yes. So in this case that I had where I reach out to this gentleman who lives in Washington, the state of Washington. And I said, hey, my name is Detective Mills, and I'm looking into an incident where you had $15,000 wired into your account. And he said, I don't have an account with that bank. And I said, it's in your name, your address. That's how I got all your information. And he said, the only thing I can tell you is this. He said, I was trying to get a loan. He's like, I was on a social media platform, and an ad popped up for this online bank that's branchless. So he said that I put all my personal information in, trying to see like how much I could get a loan for and what the interest rates were on the loan. He's like, I put my social security number in, my date of birth, my address, all of that stuff. Well, obviously that pop-up was a scam. So then, now that you have that information, the scammer opens up an account in their name without them ever even knowing that there was an account in their name. And what happened was probably like 15 or 20 transactions went into this account, and that you could tell they were all scammed wires that went into this account. And it looked like it happened for maybe 2 days when this online branchless bank fraud department probably realized pretty quickly that this is because I've dealt with so many banks, usually within a few days, these fraud departments can usually determine if this is a real account or this is a scam account, because large quantities of wired money goes into these accounts, and then almost the exact amount of money goes out of these accounts.
Mhm.
But it's always under $10,000.
Because they don't want to trigger a suspicious alert.
Correct, under $10,000, because then
Mhm.
it's becomes like, have to be taxed on that 10,000. So it's usually like 8,000, 9,500. So if you put 20,000 in, they'll do a couple of different transactions of under 10,000 to get that 20,000 out. So that's what big money would go in, and then a bunch of small transactions quickly come out, depleting the account as fast as possible. And then that money at that point, the way they do is they put it into other accounts and/or it goes right into crypto.
Oh my God.
So Howie, let me
Yes.
ask you this, because this is always my concern, and we do Man About Town for a very wide audience. People are watching us or they're listening as they're on their way to work, and they hear this and they're saying, what can I do? I'm just a little guy. I don't have a genius IQ. What can I do to protect myself? What is the simplest
Right.
things?
First thing, Marty, it's a big thing now where, don't ever just Google a phone number for a business and then call it that you find on you can't, because there's so many fake phone numbers out there. You need to find a hard copy of something that you've gotten in the mail that's got like a real legitimate phone number on it. Or just double check, triple check to make sure it's an actual real phone number.
Right.
And maybe ask some questions, like when you're calling this virus company, they should be able to tell you all your personal information, right? Because you're an account holder with them. So maybe you should ask the question. Say, hey, my name is so and so, and I have an account with you, but just to verify, can you tell me my street address?
That's smart.
Can you tell me my cell phone number?
Date of birth, last four of my social.
Something that you would have to have been given them, or say, okay, you guys have been removing money from my account for the last several months or once a year. Can you just tell me the last four of my account that you're taking money out of? Anything like that you can prove to you that they're a legitimate company. Because what happens is when you call this illegitimate company, you probably started not knowing it, giving them personal information that they didn't have.
Right.
But now you're giving it to them and they're just writing it down as fast as they can. And then they're just basically using what you give them to run down their script of how they want to scam you. And that first thing, don't just Google a company and just call the first number that you see. If you do that, ask questions that they should already have the answers to. Secondly, when you call anybody or you talk to anybody, don't give I would never give anybody access to my personal computer. Just whether they're legitimate or not, I wouldn't do it. I would say, okay, walk me through it, but you're not having access to my computer. Because at this point, I'm assuming you have now had to take your personal computer to either somebody to have it cleaned or use it. Yeah, right? Did you have to do that?
Oh, yes, immediately.
And I bet you they told you there was a bunch of malware in it.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So a lot of times is that malware is installed by when you let them into your computer, they'll install malware.
Yes.
Or two, you've opened up an email that you shouldn't have, that had an attachment that you shouldn't have looked in. And now there's malware secretly installed in your computer, and they can actually just, and I've had a few of these cases where they've watched people's emails for weeks to months at a time until they're able to find the perfect email where they can scam you through. So say you're going to sell your house. Now they're going to watch you do a couple transactions with the loan company or the real estate company. Next thing you know, they're going to change up the email by one, and then they're going to send you an email pretending they're the realtor or whoever it is, but the email is off by one and you just don't know it.
This is unbelievable.
So those are the things that you have to be careful for. So when you're doing any type of a transaction online, or you're talking to somebody online about doing a transaction, always make sure it's the right email that you're communicating with.
Okay.
Even though you've had a couple of transactions and forwarding and then like replying with this person, just still always look at that email, because sometimes the scammers can continue that chain.
You just scared me to death, because
I know.
last night I was wanting to look up a phone number, and I just Googled the name of who and wrote down the phone number they gave me.
You have to
So you don't even want to believe that anymore.
That's what she did.
Yeah.
Well, I made sure I did not go to a sponsored site. I went to what looked like the official site.
Right,
but it wasn't the official site.
They make sites that look like the official site, and a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have that unofficial site above the official site. Have you ever noticed that they're able to, when you Google something and there's like 15 different things.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it should be, so say I Google 321 Media. 321 Media should be right at the top, not 3 different platforms that are similar to it, and then you get down to the original one that you really want, right? Because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, it's all good advice, and this helps anybody. I certainly hope it does, because boy, I really got caught in this one.
But
we need to take a break. Marty,
Okay.
can you stay with us for a little
Sure.
bit?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I just want to say this, that, and Marty knows this. I told her this yesterday. I went into our local Chase office here in Westerly yesterday and invited them to come in and speak, because I thought, what a great opportunity for them. I mean, even though it was Chase in New Jersey that saved her at the bell, they might want to say something. Well, I spoke with a wonderful person there who said, unfortunately, we would have liked you to have come in a couple of weeks ago, because anything that goes through media now, we have to get permission from our main office. But she congratulated 321 for airing this, and you, Howie, and Marty for doing this, because they said if it even helps one person, it's a lot. And we have scams all the time. We have seen our customers get scammed. We will do anything. And I've heard that from Navigant and Washington Trust. And I know you go out and speak to groups and banks all the time. It's a huge problem. And she said, as I was leaving, what you've said, Howie, and what I've heard too many times, it isn't going away. We all have to educate and hope.
Yes, I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask Marty too when we come back from break,
All right,
just
so
about that scenario.
We are going to take a break right now. You are listening to Man About Town, sponsored by Valenti Subaru at Dunn's Corners. And we are part of 321 Media, which is not a scam. And we want you to listen and watch your local folks, because they're not a scam either. They're your friends, neighbors, and they're great businesses that bring us to you. Be right back.
I'm Ryan Collins. I'm the clinic director, specialized orthopedic physical therapy. Every time you come in, you work one-on-one with the physical therapist, personalized one-on-one care with that person. Working with Wood River is very beneficial because we have great relationships with all the doctors. Do not hesitate to give us a call, come in for an evaluation, or talk to your doctor, and they can refer you to physical therapy.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
I'm Dale Sold, the owner of Shoreline Painting and Cabinet Refinishing. My vision for the company has always been to elevate paint contracting. When you call, you get a live person. Typically, we have estimates out the same day. We have really good communication with our customers daily. We make sure you're completely happy before we leave the project. We service residential and commercial customers. The commercial work we do is typically more community-oriented. We just completed a expansion of our shop. We added 3 more spray booths to allow us to increase capacity. You can find us at 77 Stillman Ave in Pawcatuck. You can find us on our website at shorelinepaintingri.com, or you can call the office 401-834-1684 to book an estimate.
I've been cooking since I was 12 or 13 years old. I was cooking in the Navy. And honestly, we were welcomed kind of with open arms into the community. We've had a reputation for having great beverages and okay food. And I want people to know that is the thing we're attacking first, is making sure that our food matches our beverages. I want to make a really strong lunch menu. If you had a breakfast sandwich yesterday, come back tomorrow, it'll be better, because we're changing the way we do things around here. I'm JJ Glode. I'm the owner of Higher Grounds and Lickety Splits, and we'd love to see you come in soon.
Trust. And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnnieMac Home Mortgage's Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnnieMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
I'm Dale Sold, the owner of Shoreline Painting and Cabinet Refinishing. My vision for the company has always been to elevate paint contracting. When you call, you get a live person. Typically, we have estimates out the same day. We have really good communication with our customers daily. We make sure you're completely happy before we leave the project. We service residential and commercial customers. The commercial work we do is typically more community-oriented. We just completed a expansion of our shop. We added 3 more spray booths to allow us to increase capacity. You can find us at 77 Stillman Ave in Pawcatuck. You can find us on our website at shorelinepaintingri.com, or you can call the office 401-834-1684 to book an estimate.
321 is about so much more than sports. We're about community, family, small businesses, nonprofits, and sharing stories that deserve to be heard. 321, what's your story?
At Lathrop Insurance, our core values guide everything we do, because insurance is more than a policy. It is a promise. We care. We treat every client like family. We're solutions driven. We find answers, not excuses. We utilize teamwork. We do what we say because integrity matters, always. And we're always growing. We strive to be better today than we were yesterday. These values have shaped 86 years of service to Rhode Island families and businesses.
She's there, she's everywhere, she's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Hey everybody, we're back. We are here on Man About Town. We are part of 321 Media. Maybe one of the best parts of 321 Media. How's that?
Maybe.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
right.
you're the best part that airs from 8 to 10 a.m. on Wednesdays for sure.
Uh-huh.
So Marty.
That was the former Ben Barber. We are back with my good buddy Marty, who has come in from South Jersey. She hasn't physically come in, but through StreamYard, she is with us. If you missed the beginning, you missed an awful lot, but go on YouTube, look us up under 321 Media and Man About Town with today's date and watch it, because you will get a real education as to the scams that are out there, how intricate. That's what gets me, how absolutely intricate they are, the research they've done, the brain power they've used. Now, you, Howie, we're going to be asking Marty some questions.
Yes, I know she kind of skipped forward just to kind of get the story, but I feel is that there's no part that's not important in your story, because the intricacies of how they do it, right? So, and I know we kind of touched on a little bit, but once the extra zero is done and they want, how much were they trying to plan your emotions?
Oh, well, that was the whole thing, because I almost had a heart attack when I saw instead of $200, it was $20,000. And then later on, of course, it was explained to me with the false screens how all they do is add an extra zero. So they have it all planned out. They said, you did not make a mistake. You put in $200. But because they were controlling the screen, however they do it, as you said, maybe they type in an extra zero.
Oh, they do. I've seen scams on it.
I'm sure you know better than I do. But when it came up 20,000, that's when I completely panicked, because I didn't have $20,000 to pay them back. And so, yes, and they were so nice and understanding and, helpful. And the whole thing, of course, was predicated upon the fact that this was an antivirus company. It was on my computer. I invited the vampires in. So I was not in any way anticipating that they were a scam.
Now,
so that's where my head was at.
Okay, so as you're panicking that you now have an extra 20,000 in your account, they're telling you it's going to be okay.
Yes.
Not a big deal. We're going to fix this.
Yes.
Explain to me, did they talk to you about how it was going to go down with going to get a wire? Did they walk you through any of that before?
In detail.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What did they tell you that you were going to tell the bank? Because the bank's going to ask. There's a full form that they go down, and they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. Oh, you have it written down. It looks like. I like that.
I had to do a report for the police department.
Okay.
I have an 8-page report because what happened if this was going on, I actually took some screenshots and photos of some of the things that came up just in case I needed to backtrack.
Not a lot of people wouldn't have known to do that. So especially older people take screenshots and all of that.
So I had a lot of information that I was able to give to the police department. Not that it would help in any way, because as you say, this is all overseas, undercover. I don't know how successful any of these scams are in actually being caught. So they told me that they had to recover the $20,000, but that I couldn't return it directly to the company.
Yep.
And that was because it would trigger a suspicious alert with the bank.
And they would get in trouble.
And he would lose his job. Yes, everything.
He has a family, children.
Everything. A dog, a cat, who knows? It was just like, and they play on your emotions because, you're not going to keep $20,000. Oh, and you're so honest and thank you so much. There are people who wouldn't do this and who wouldn't help us with this. And it was an honest mistake and we don't know what happened, but we have to get this fixed and thank you for helping us. And that's how the whole thing started to go with the wire transfer. And maybe I think they tried doing a wire transfer. We tried to do it several times and it didn't go through. Thank the Lord. And maybe that was actually the truth. Maybe they were panicking at their end because they couldn't get the wire transfer to go through. That's where I need your expertise. Is that a possibility that it happened that way?
I don't know if they were going to do some type of a transfer probably through online but at some point did they tell you that you needed to go to the bank to do you might need to go down to Chase Bank to do the
No, they did not want me to go anywhere near Chase Bank.
Okay. So they were somehow trying to get you to send them money from your account directly to their account.
Well, directly to somebody in the company.
Correct. But it's really it's a fraud account.
Correct.
So I don't know what motive or how did they direct you to go to a website to put in your banking information, or was that
no? I had to go to my online banking.
Yeah, did you have to do a transfer or anything like that? Okay.
Wire transfer.
Yeah, you click the wire transfer.
Yes.
And
I can send money twice.
Maybe and this is where I'm thinking this went down, because once you try to do a $20,000 wire through your online, I think Chase, and I don't know if they told you this or not, I think Chase declined your ability to do the wire. And that's what triggered Chase to then call you on the phone.
That makes sense.
Because this is something you have probably never done.
Correct. Never.
And again, the banks are great. Their financial crime stopping institution that they have, their fraud departments are great. And I wouldn't be surprised if when you put in the bank and the account that the money was going to get transferred into, they were probably already aware that was probably an account that had an alert on it through their company, because you're probably not the only one in this. And Chase Global, because Chase is a global company, Chase Global probably has that as already an account that's going to trigger some type of an alert, because I'm sure there's been somebody else that's been a customer of Chase that has probably already fraudulently put money into that account. So they were probably already aware that the account was probably fraudulent, and that's what probably triggered it.
Well, you just answered the unknown question. Thank you so much. That makes total sense.
Yes. So it was either one of the two or it was both. Could have been one of the two, that you've never done a $20,000 wire, and or the money was going into an account that they were already aware of, which was a fraud, it was under suspicion of being fraudulent, and that's what triggered the alert. Because I'm assuming as soon as you tried that twice, your phone is ringing that it's Chase Bank, I'm guessing, right?
I wondered why it was so quick that they contacted me.
Yeah.
It was, and then it was crazy because they were actually the fraudsters were actually typing me what to say to the Chase fraud alert person who called me onto my screen. Tell them this, tell them that, all of these things.
When
they were like here too.
I've had numerous conversations with people that were victims that went to local banks here in town.
Yes.
And they sit in the car before they even go into the bank, and the scammer gives them a rundown of everything that they need to say.
Yes.
And they don't figure that sounds a little odd.
Well,
I mean, that's what I would think. If you're
understand.
telling me what to say, you're scripting me.
Well,
Something's
at that
off.
point, yes.
Right,
At
but
that point, I
they-
knew I was in trouble.
Right. But they got you so scared or nervous
Yeah.
that you've taken $20,000 that's not your money, and
Yes.
you need to get it back to me as soon
So
as
she was
possible.
laser focused on that, right?
Laser focused on, I need to get this money back to little Timmy, who has
Yes.
a family and kids,
Yes.
and he's going to lose his job because of me, a
Right.
mistake that I made by
Right.
hitting too many zeros.
Yes.
When really, in reality, they hit too many zeros.
And
now
what
they're
about
putting your
banks
emotion.
being protected about stuff like that with FDIC? I mean, if that were true, if she took little Timmy's money and his family's money, the bank would still have to be covering that because they are
Well, what the
protected.
bank would do, Marty would just go to Chase Bank and say, "Hey, I made a mistake and I accidentally took $20,000 of money that doesn't belong to me. This is the account that needs to go back to," and Chase would then remove the money, pick up the money out of her account, and then go drop it back into the account that it really belongs in. That's what would normally supposed to happen.
Jeez.
But it doesn't always work like that. I've been very lucky in some of these cases. I had a case, something like that happened where $250,000 was fraudulently put into an account, and I chased the money around and ended up getting, it was $249,000 that was taken. I think I got $220,000 back because I was able to get the account shut down before they could get the money out of it. If you can quickly or quick enough have Chase Bank reach out to, do you remember the bank that the money was supposed to go into? You remember what the name of the bank was?
Oh, I would have to check my notes and see. No, well, no, because they gave me the names of people, not a bank.
Okay, but there had to be at some point. I understand it's going to go to a person, but it's got to go to some bank.
I did not see a name of a bank.
That's strange.
Wow.
Because it's got to go to some type of a financial institution, because a wire can't just go from.
I wrote stuff down. I will,
Yeah,
as
I'm
we're
just
talking,
curious.
I will look.
Yeah. So.
All right, I've got a question
go ahead
for
while she's doing
Howie
that.
while she's looking that up. You've been a cop now how many years?
19 years. I
All
have
right,
one.
so-
I have 1 year and 5 days left.
But you're not counting.
Right.
All right. So call it 20 years. When you went to the academy way back then, they weren't teaching scams, were they? I mean, years and years ago, when a man or woman went to become a police officer, it was how to shoot, how to get the bad guys, how to do this, how to do that. There was no scam training, was there?
It was not.
Now it's got to be huge.
But even now,
I mean, you have ongoing continuing ed in the department all the time.
you know how you learn about scams? Taking
From
police reports.
people.
Yes, because they changed so much. So when I first got hired, I think the first couple of years that I was on, I tell the story. I don't know if I've ever told it here. The two officers that got a lot of these scams, back in like 2008, 2009, was Chief Gendrella and I. We both worked day shift at the time, patrol officers, and Western Union and MoneyGram were the two biggest ways to defraud people.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
we were going around to all of these businesses here in town that that used to do Western Union and or MoneyGram,
like the supermarkets and
correct.
Walmart.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we would tell them that people are being scammed and going there, and we kept asking them to ask questions to, you know, these people that are coming in there, sending Western Union money to other people that they didn't know. So, and then all of a sudden, when you started going into these places, you see these little placards and pieces of paper that are taped to the desk saying, do you know this person that you're sending the money to? Make sure that, you know this person and you've met this person. This is a person that you know why you're sending them the
Walmart's
money.
got like a continuing billboard in the customer service area, English and Spanish.
For the MoneyGram.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that
and don't send, don't be buying gift cards and sending them people you don't know. And,
yes. But that's, and that's still a thing.
Yeah.
So, Howie.
Yes.
What they did was they gave me a routing number
Yep.
and an account number, but not the name of the bank.
Okay. So
routing number would mean a bank.
Yes, the
Yeah.
routing
Oh,
amount would mean. I bet you if you Googled that routing number,
I would know the name of the
It'll
bank.
probably tell you the name of the bank.
Yep.
So you don't need to put the name of the bank if you have the routing number.
Right.
And that, again, all of that was probably triggered by Chase. So what I've had is, these banks. So if you lived in Westerly and you called us, and you had sent the money, the first thing I do, and then the person that was the victim here that fell for a very similar scam to Marty, the first thing I did was I reached out to that bank that she had taken money out of and asked her if there was any recourse, which there was not. But if it was through a wire, which you would have done, I would have asked. It's called it's a hold harmless letter or a hold on that account. Usually, if you can do it within the first 24 hours or less, there's a chance that the bank here in town can reach out to the other bank where the money went into and said, please hold this account, freeze this account, do not let any money come in this account or come out of this account until we figure out what happened. So then the fraud department of the bank here in Westerly will reach out to the fraud department there, but it takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days.
Oh yeah, I had nothing. I was lucky I could get gas. Lucky I had some cash in the house because I didn't have a credit card. I didn't have a checking account. I
They
didn't have a
froze
savings
everything.
account. I had nothing.
How long did they freeze it for?
Oh, it was quite a while. It was different parts of it, but it was 2 weeks before
Yes.
I could really get anything through.
And then I'm assuming they probably sent you new cards, new account information, everything.
I'm still recovering in some places.
And this is what I try to tell people that are victims too, is that, and people that I tell these stories to, sometimes it's not even the fact that you were out money, but we've all, and I have several different things that are just monthly removed from my checking account.
Yes.
So now I have to go back and look through my monthly payments of things that come in, things that go out, and say, okay, now I have to reach out to this company and let them know that this is the new number, that the new account number they need to take the money out of. I need to reach out to this company.
Easy.
And then if you miss one, and then all of a sudden 2 months go by, 3 months go by, and they reach out to you and say, sir, there's a late fee because you haven't paid for the last 2 months.
Correct.
And you said, oh my, I didn't mean it was an accident. This is what happened to me.
Right.
And you're like, well, I don't want to hear it. You owe us,
right.
late fees. And
there's so many things like that. Like I almost got caught with Easy Pass. Fortunately, I had to meet some friends, and it was quite a drive. And Easy Pass tried to replenish.
Yeah, we have that here.
I mean, who would ever think? I don't drive much anymore, so Easy Pass replenishes maybe $25 every 6 months or something, right? So I never thought, oh yeah, they whip out the replenishment from my checking account, right? So I still get caught with those kind of recurring things that you're talking about.
We had speaking of those types of, we've had people that have reached out to us numerous times that they were sent a letter from, it was a fake letter saying that they didn't pay they didn't pay a toll.
Oh, we have that here big time.
Yeah, I had that last year.
Yeah, and it happens, and it's not true. It's a scam, but people do fall for it. We talk about this all the time. In the springtime, the grandchild locked up scam. I read an article or something not too long ago where I believe some people got arrested that were involved in it, and they have everything. The people that are involved in this, they have scripts that they use, the same script that they call every single person that they scam. There's a script that they use. Not everybody falls for it, but some people do fall for it, unfortunately. and it's a script. They look for people before they even call these people. They usually look them up on the internet. They know about where they live. They know if they have grandchildren. It's all of that. So unfortunately, when you do put things sometimes online, the scammers are able to do some research before they make these phone calls.
We have unleashed a problem that nobody had really foreseen to this extent, I think.
And it's never going to be solved. It's only going to get worse.
And then when there's data breaches from different companies, then they're able to steal phone numbers.
Right.
So, and I try to tell people too, I know some people think it's funny when a scammer calls you and you answer the phone and you mess with them and keep them on the phone. And I've done it myself. But if you ever notice after you do that, you get numerous scams after that, because what happens is they realize it's an actual live number.
Someone tell Ken Collins this. He answers every single scam call that he gets.
I've been in his house when he does.
Oh,
Does he answer it just to talk to them, or does he try to like mess around with them?
I think his wife talks to them sometimes.
I don't know about Hazel, but I know that Ken definitely calls or Ken definitely answers and goes like, "We don't want any. What do you want?" No,
So
I'm fine.
Right, when you do answer, it's considered a live phone number, and they can actually sell that phone number to other scammers, knowing that it's a live phone number. Somebody's going to answer it. It's a real phone number. So, and that's when you end up getting more, because when you answer, you get more. But unfortunately, even if it goes to voicemail, it's still a live number. So, I don't even know how you even stop it, because once your phone number's out there, your phone number's out there. And I block every time a scammer calls me. I block the phone number, but they
just keep changing them.
Yeah, they just keep changing phone numbers, because they just use they use an app where they can just clone phone numbers, and that's why you'll never get a phone number from a phone call from a scammer. So we're probably almost out of time. I'm looking up there.
We are just about out of time. Marty, thank you. I'm glad we finally did this.
Thank you so
And
much.
I knew that you'd like him, even though, he's marginal with me, but after all these years.
But my husband was in the same profession for many, many years, so it's nice to be able to speak to a police officer.
And Marty, things happen. You're not the only person that's almost fallen for the scam or very similar scam. I'm just glad that you're able to tell your story, because your story, if it helps one person, then that's one victory that we had, and they didn't.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the place to tell
Thank you both. And you're coming back next week.
Already?
It's I love this already. You're the one that never wants to get off the air.
I don't.
But it is your slot next week.
Okay.
We will see you at 9:00. Next week we will have the people I refer to as the library twins at 8. And that is Bill Lancelota and
Bridget.
Thank you, Bridget. She wants Bridget Hopkins. And Bridget is the executive director, and Bill Lancelota is the assistant executive director of Wilcox Park and the Westerly Library. And then as we go forth into July, we have a lot more guests. We've got Oklahoma that's going to be opening at the Granite Theater over there, and we will have people from that production the week after that, and on we go. As always, we thank our producer, Ben Barber.
Thank you,
What
Ben.
a beautiful morning.
Thank you, Marty, so much. Nice to meet you.
The man who knows everything. And we thank all of you for continuing to patronize the people that keep us on the air and keep all of 321 Media on the air. It is so important. We are that kind of community, and you've got to go in and say, hey, thank you for sponsoring Man About Town, or sponsoring the sports shows on the weekends or during the week, during the school year, or any of the shows that are on, the talk shows, any of them. So we thank you very much. We will see you next week. And as I always say, be good to each other, be careful, but do not be afraid to take a chance. Because if you take a risk in life, that's often when there's opportunity. See you then.
321 is about so much more than sports. We're about community, family, small businesses, nonprofits, and sharing stories that deserve to be heard. 321. What's your story?